how to brand your life. Are you wondering what this actually means and why it's so important as a woman in midlife to start thinking about branding? And if you're new to me in here, Christine Burke, I am the Midlife CEO, and I help faith-fueled women in midlife really start leading in their life and shifting into a new identity and moving through what is really the most craziest, hardest, can be the most challenging thing in a woman's life. You throw in menopause and empty nesting and all the things. Sorry, I just keep adjusting my camera here. And so what does it mean to brand your dang life? Okay. And so what does that actually mean? So I'm not talking about a logo. I'm not talking about marketing, although I am a branding coach. I do a lot of branding with clients. I'm talking about our lives in midlife. And I know many of you on here are feeling the stir. Okay. I have conversations with women every day. I've pivoted in what I do kind of away from the weight loss thing because I'm starting to understand that a lot of the challenges that we face physically are because of what we have going on mentally in our heads, right? We carry around the traumas, we carry around the stories, we carry around the shit from our lives, right? We put that armor on to protect ourselves. Then in midlife, it's like, you know what? God comes down and taps us on the shoulder and says, we're halfway through. It's time. It's time to get your collective poop together and figure out what it is that you want, right? Because we are mothers, we are wives, we are sisters, we are daughters, right? We are the do everything people, and we carry the emotional weight, many of us, in our family. And this I am feeling right now so much, having so many challenges with my daughter. It's crazy. And that emotional weight can be very, very stressful. Okay. And so, so it's not a logo I'm talking about here. It's identity ownership. Okay. Identity ownership. And so your brand of yourself, okay, is how people experience you. That's what it is, right? It's your value, your energy, your stories, right? Like what stories you might be holding on to. Most women in midlife are running on autopilot. Ever feel like you're running on autopilot, right? You're running on other people's scripts, right? I mean, that hits me. And so when you brand your life, you take back authorship of your life, of your script, okay? Rather than looking at leading your life and doing things based on other people's scripts and what other people need and what other people think you need to do. And it's about leading by design, not by default, right? I'm a mom, so I will. I was saying on a video the other day how, people would ask me like, how are you? And the first thing out of my mouth was, yeah, I'm pretty good. And I would launch into some story about my daughter. And I'm thinking, gosh, they weren't really asking about her. They were asking about me, right? That is how strong that pull is, okay? That's the first thing. Number two, I've actually taken my Core 4 method. Some of you may be familiar with the Core 4 method. I created it. It's how I lost 20 pounds in perimenopause and menopause. And I was very successful at that. It's not a complicated thing. It's the 4 sets of habits that you need to actually get this done in midlife and menopause. And I actually have adjusted that now to suit this whole midlife identity shift, okay? And so what is this Core 4? Okay, so the C stands for clarity. So I want you to sit down and I want you to think about this. Okay, who am I now and what season am I in? We need to get clear on who we are right now and what season we're in right now. So for example, maybe you're an empty nester, maybe you're not, maybe you're, maybe you don't have kids. Maybe you've got grandkids. Maybe you're coming to the end of your career and you're facing retirement. Maybe you're an entrepreneur like me who has always been a stay-at-home mom. And I'm kind of like, now that my kids are getting older, like I feel like I'm just getting started in what I always have loved doing. Okay, so that's C. O is ownership. Okay, and this is a big one because when I was speaking about the armor that we carry around, okay, what stories or labels am I carrying around, right? How are we defining what we do, how we feel, the values in our life based on old stories? It's like dragging a heavy ball behind you, right? Really important to have a look at like what those stories are and how they're influencing where you're at right now. Okay, R is for resilience, right? So how do I handle the moments that test my new identity? Because God's going to come in, okay? He's going to tap you on the shoulder. He might throw you a few things here, there, and everywhere to test your faith, right? And to test that identity, to test who you are. You might, be telling your family, I'm going to do something different. I've got a new hobby, or I've got new friends, or I'm going to be, starting to spend more time out of the house, right? And things are going to come in to challenge you. Okay. And the last one is E for energy. Okay. So what is the environment that you need? What are the people that you need? What are the habits, right? I love talking about habits. What are the habits that you need to keep yourself aligned with this new identity that you are stepping into? Habits are huge, okay? I am a big believer, and I am proof that simple daily habits build discipline and can absolutely change everything about your life, physically, mentally, the whole thing, okay? It's all about habits. You can't build discipline without habits. You can't make change without habits, okay? Habits define who you are. They define how you show up. They define the results that you're getting in your life right now. And so if we are stepping into a new powerful identity for ourselves, what are the habits that we need to adopt, right? I go to the gym every day, and I've recently changed that habit. I go first thing in the morning, i.e. 6 o'clock in the morning. Now, maybe that's not doable for everyone, but for me, I know that if I'm stepping deeper into my identity as a powerful midlife CEO, I need to tick that box. I need to get to the gym first thing in the morning so I can get on with my day, right? Because I know how important that workout is in influencing my energy, my vitality, my day, my priorities, okay? So your brand becomes magnetic the moment you stop trying to prove things and the minute you start choosing things. Let me say that again. Your brand, your identity becomes magnetic the moment you stop proving and the moment you start choosing. Okay? Really, really important. Next, faith and identity. I'm talking a lot about faith. I'm a fairly new Christian. God's changed my life in miraculous ways. Excuse me, in the past few months. I was baptized in April, which was one of the most incredible days of my entire life. So I talk a lot about faith and identity and this connection of moving forward as a faith-fueled midlife CEO, right? We need to lead. God is calling women at our age in this stage of life to lead. Faith gives you the confidence to own whatever message is hot on your heart. God's giving you a purpose, and he's helping you build the confidence to actually be bold with that purpose, right? So when you see yourself through God's eyes, you stop being insecure and you start leading from purpose, right? What is your purpose? You got to sit down and have conversations with him about this. He's an incredible person. I don't know if you wouldn't call him a person, but he's incredible to talk to, right? If you let him in and you listen. Okay? Your brand is your ministry. Your brand is your ministry, okay? And so I hope you enjoyed that training today. So look, I am getting ready to run a 5-day challenge boot camp. It's called the Midlife Wake-Up Call because I'm feeling really fired up lately. I'm like, let's just all wake up right now and shift powerfully and start going deep on who we are right now, who we want to be, who God sees us to be, what our purpose is. It's so, so powerful. I'm excited. I'm going to be running it on my open socials. Okay. It'll probably be live. I don't think I'll live stream in here, but I am creating a really cool workbook. So if you want the workbook to follow along with the challenge, okay, say wake. Okay, wake below, comment wake, and I'll make sure you can just put in your details and you can get on the list so you get the workbook and probably the replays, which will come via email. So, because if you missed the Facebook Live, Facebook doesn't keep these videos anymore. Anyway, I hope you have a beautiful weekend. I hope you got value. Make sure to say wake below so you can get in on this next boot camp. And I cannot wait to have this conversation with you. Have a good one.